Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Today I want to show you a really cool 3-slot payphone. This is Keith's equipment from Florida. This is the initial checkout of this payphone. And we want to run through a little bit about what we need to do because we're going to be repairing and converting this unit. Now Keith has a note here with this payphone, and he's talking about his top sign. So that's really cool. He's got the top informational card sign that he removed that goes along with this payphone, and he did that because of shipping. And we also want to mention that in the bubble wrap, when we open this unit up, that we have paint chips. I don't know if the video is picking that up, but there's some paint chipping going on inside the bubble wrap, and we're going to remove that. And that's probably from this area of the dial, but it looks like it's been painted on before, so it's probably just from the age and the paint not wanting to stick really well any longer. It probably just came off. So I'm not sure it was like a shipping issue or they were rough on it necessarily. And then you might have some here. I really don't know on the edges here what it looked like before shipment. But with all the modern paints nowadays and the ways to mix the paint and come up with a color that's right on the same color wouldn't be hard to do. So I don't believe that cosmetic issue is a big deal. But anyway, on the repair and conversion of this unit, we want to install a modular port for our line cord here in the center of the back of the payphone. And that's so Keith can walk up to this unit, plug any length line cord, any color, right into the modular port. Makes for a simple, easy plug and play connection. Now we also need to rewire this unit the way we want it wired to work the way we want it to work. We need to go through the transmit, the receive. We need to check out the security cable, make sure that that's in good condition. We also want to install a bell and a bell circuit. We want to go through the coin validator, and we want to make sure all the change is falling through the coin validator. The nickels ring the bell one time, dimes ring the bell twice, and then the quarters hit the gong and it gongs once. We also want to go through the rotary. We want to make sure that that is oiled, cleaned, and adjusted, and that the numbers are racking off properly. Now with the key issue, he has one key, and that was for the cover. And it worked before he shipped it, but it doesn't work now because this unit was open when it was shipped. The cover wasn't on and in locked position, so I think the deadbolt probably hit this area quite a few times, and it might have jammed the deadbolt in the lock. And the key does not enter the lock any longer all the way, and we're going to have to take that lock apart and find out what's damaged and repair the lock. Now there is no vault key, so that's an issue because we need to get in the vault area to get the mounting backboard off of this unit. So the mounting bolts that mounted into the wall have been cut off, and they've been left long when they were cut off. And so now they're trapped in between the original backboard to the payphone, but that has another backboard, and you don't actually need that second backboard, but that was an option. You could have that backboard for mounting purposes, and so it has that backboard on it, and you cannot get that backboard off of the payphone or removed from the payphone without getting into the vault area. So we've got a lot of issues going on here with the second backboard or the mounting backboard. And you actually don't need that backboard, but some payphones had them and some didn't. And so we got to get into that situation and find out what we need to do to remove the backboard, and then we need to get into the vault area. So we got a lot going on, and we want to get a start on it. Now we're going to do some still pictures so you can see what we're talking about. Okay, we're back now, and we're in the middle of the process of repairing and converting this really cool 3-slot payphone, and we want to run through a little bit about what's going on. Now, earlier in the video, we showed that we needed to remove the backboard, and this is an optional backboard. You can mount that in a payphone or on a wall, and then mount your payphone to that. Now, not all the payphones have this backboard. It's an extra option. And the problem is it was removed from its location, and somebody had to cut the bolts that were stabilizing that backboard. And we have 5 bolts here, and they were left long, and we needed to get them out of the situation where they were trapped in the backboard and then the backboard of the payphone. Now, we did not have a vault lock key, and you have to get into the vault area to remove that backboard properly. So there's no easy way to do it, and from time to time we have to go through this. So there is a specific way that you need to do it, and it's not a simple process if you don't break the lock. And we didn't want to break the lock. Now, it's even harder to do when you have a coin box and a lid. Some of these payphones come in and you get into the vault area and they do not have a coin box, or they'll have a coin box and no lid. This one actually has the lid, and we're going to go through that. Plus, you have to remove the bracket that slides into. And so it's a pretty long, drawn-out process. It's not a simple deal, and we've been through it before, so I have the way that I get into it. Now, that's all been removed and taken care of. The lock issue, we're going to go through that, but I want to show you the coin box. Now, with the coin box, there's some little brackets here, and they clip down on the coin box, and then you shut it here. And what they would do back in the day when these were out in the public, they would put a little seal here or a little lock, and you could not get into the cash box when you were out collecting up these cash box or coin boxes. And every time you remove this, what happens is this latch kicks back and you can't open it up and get any money out of it, and then the seal would be on it or the little lock, and so that kept whoever was collecting the money from getting into the coins. So what you have to do when you open this and remove it from the payphone is you have to set this latch here, and once that latch is set and this lid is shut on the coin box, when you push that in, this little lever here, the trigger, will cock that latch. And then when you pull this out, it shuts and you can't open it again until you set the latch. So now I'm ready to stick the coin box back into the payphone. This trigger is caught. It pulls it forward. And then when you pull this out, it latches and you can't get into it. That's how they would keep the guys on the route out of the cash box or the coin box. Now, the lock issue with the cover, we showed earlier, the lock had been damaged. The deadbolt had hit the bottom of the payphone quite a few times where you want to lock it. The cover was just set on it, and it damaged the lock. Now the other issue is the key didn't really fit properly either. So it was either a poorly cut key, or it wasn't the exact key to begin with, and maybe every once in a while you would get lucky and it would open it. So the settings for the lock had to be reconfigured, and we had to repair the lock because it was actually damaged. So now we have a working cover lock for the front cover. So that's been taken care of. The other issue with the vault lock is we could take this vault lock and rekey a key to it, but we don't have a key that fits it right now at the shop here. So we're not going to go ahead and use this lock. We're going to replace it. If we had a key, we could rekey it, but we just don't have one at this time. We're going to set that to the side. We have another lock that we're going to use for the vault, and it has a key. So that's how we're going to take care of the vault lock. Now, on the coin drop, the chute, that has to be reinstalled along with the bracket that holds the coin box, and we're going to be working on all that. And now we can start the rest of our conversion, where we go into the wiring, rewire it the way we want it wired to work the way we want it to work. Then we need to do the rotary, clean, oil, and just that. We need to go through the coin validator. We need to install a bell circuit, go through the hook switch. We need to troubleshoot our security cable for our handset, our transmit, and receive. So once we've gotten the payphone apart and got all the pieces and the locks taken care of, we can move on to the other issues. So we'll go ahead and take a short break. We'll come back and get some more video as we move forward in the repair and conversion of this really cool 3-slot payphone. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we're in the middle of the process of repairing and converting this 3-slot payphone, and we want to run through a little bit about what's going on. Now, we've went ahead and installed our modular port. That way Keith can walk up to this payphone, plug in any length line cord, any color he chooses, plug right into the modular port, makes for a simple, easy plug-and-play connection. Now we can remove our modular plug line cord, and here is our modular port that's been installed. Now we're also working on our coin validator. We want to make sure that all the change, quarters, dimes, and nickels are falling through the coin validator properly and into the coin box. We're also in the middle of working on our rotary. This is our dust cover for the rotary. That's been removed. We want to run through the rotary. That needs to be cleaned, oiled, and adjusted. So we want to make sure all the numbers are racking off properly. So we're going to go ahead and finish up this work, and we'll come back and we'll get some more video as we move forward in the repair and conversion of this really cool 3-slot payphone. So we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back now, and we are finished up with the repair and conversion of this 3-slot payphone. We want to run through a few things before we start our final checkout. Now we have our backboard located behind the telephone here, and we're going to install that for shipping purposes. Now we also have our vault door and key on that backboard, and that's because we want to run some coins through the coin validator and into the cash box area, so there's no need to have the vault door on at this time. We also want to talk about the issues of removing the front cover and putting it back on. You always want to hold firmly at the bottom of the front cover so that the key and the deadbolt to the lock does not have a lot of pressure on it. The last thing you want to do is break a key off. So always firmly push in when removing and putting back on the front cover. That will take the pressure off the deadbolt and the key. Same thing with the vault door. You're going to have to hold the vault door in properly to take the pressure off the key and the deadbolt. It does take a little bit of getting used to on payphones how to open and close the vault doors and the front covers. So if you're not familiar with that, it takes a little bit of practice to get used to it. Same thing with the cash box. You always have to remember to click the latch so that you can shut the coin box and put it back into the unit. So that takes a little bit of getting used to and some practice. Now we also want to mention our amplified pickup. We use this in troubleshooting, repairing, and on our final checkout. It's amplified so that you can hear the audio from a receiver on our final calls, our checkout. And I have an amplifier that has a button on it, and I can push that button and let you listen to the audio at any time. So we'll be using that. Now we want to go ahead and put some change into this unit, and we're going to start off with a quarter. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That hits the gong one time. Now a dime is going to hit the bell 2 times. We'll go a nickel, that'll hit the bell once. We'll do another quarter, another dime, and one last nickel. We want to remove our cash box. Our trigger is locked. You cannot get into this cash box if there was a seal or a lock here. We want to go ahead and remove our lid. Our cash is in the box. And Keith is getting rich with bubblegum money here. So we'll go ahead and set that to the side, because what we want to do now is we want to take this lid and we want to make sure that we set the latch. Once you hear that click, it'll stay in that position. You can go ahead and put your cover back on. And now you can put it back in. And like I said, it's a little tricky. You know, when you put this back in, you have to kind of tilt it a little bit and set it back in, and then it catches a post and you can push it all the way back in. So it will take a little bit to get used to this unit. Now what we can do is we can go ahead and use the analyzer, and we'll ring our unit. We're going to let that go a few times. I'll let it go one more time and we'll give you some dial tone. We want to walk through our numbers. If you watch the analyzer, you'll watch the numbers roll by. We have a nice smooth return on our rotary. I'm going to end in a 2. Now I want to transmit into the handset. If you watch that red light on the analyzer, every time you see that red light light up, that's an indication of 100% modulation on transmit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, hello. We can go ahead and hang up. Now that we know that this unit is ringing in on a ring cycle, it's dialing out. We have transmit and receive. Our cash or our coins are falling through into the coin box. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and press this button on our switch box. That gives us a line out, totally takes the analyzer out of the situation, and we can call a time and temp number. So we want to go ahead and give you some dial tone. We'll turn our amplifier up a little bit, and we'll call that number.
Good evening. Today is Saturday, January 30th. The time is 6:17. Current temperature at 57 degrees. Now the weather forecast for the Belleville area. Partly cloudy today, a high in the low to mid-60s. Mostly cloudy tonight, lows around 50. Temperature steady or slowly rising. Sunday, mostly cloudy, 30% chance of a shower with a high 62.
We can hang up. We'll give you some dial tone. We'll call my number and it'll be busy. Hang our unit up. Now that we know that this really cool 3-slot payphone has been repaired and converted, we can return it to Keith and he can enjoy this payphone now. I'm sure it's going to look great no matter where it's installed. This is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can reach us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com. And you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. Thank you for watching and have a great day.